What if I told you that one of the biggest names in basketball history, Michael Jordan, had reportedly offered a WNBA team ownership deal to one of the fastest rising stars in the game today? That's the claim spreading across social media right now, involving Caitlin Clark. And if you've seen clips, thumbnails, or YouTube videos lately, you already know how massive this story has become. Some versions of the story say it's a historic partnership. Others call it a game-changing power move for women's basketball. And a few go even further, suggesting it could reshape the entire structure of professional sports. But here's the problem. There is currently no verified report, no official statement, and no credible confirmation from Jordan, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA, or any major sports outlet supporting this claim. So why is everyone talking about it like it's real? That's exactly what we're breaking down in this video. Because in today's sports world, a rumor doesn't need proof to spread, it just needs attention. And this one spread fast. Before we go deeper into what's real and what's speculation, make sure you don't miss what's coming next. If you're into basketball stories that go beyond the headlines, subscribe to Court Queens, drop a like, and comment what you think. Right? Do you believe stories like this spread too easily online, or is there usually some truth behind them? Now let's slow this down, because before we talk about what might be happening, we need to understand what is actually confirmed and what is purely internet speculation. And trust me, the difference here is bigger than most people realize. If you trace this story back to its source, something important becomes clear very quickly. There is no press conference, no official interview, no league announcement, no statement from Michael Jordan, and no confirmation from Caitlin Clark or her representatives. Instead, this entire narrative appears to have grown from a familiar place in today's sports media world. Viral-style YouTube content, reposted clips, and exaggerated storytelling designed for maximum attention. And once a claim like this enters the algorithm, it doesn't need proof to survive, it only needs engagement. Think about how it works. A bold headline appears first. Jordan offers Clark a WNBA team. Then the details get expanded in different directions. Sources suggest. Insiders believe. NBA circles are watching. But none of these phrases actually point to a verifiable source. They just create the feeling of credibility. And that's where confusion begins. Because when a name like Michael Jordan is attached to a rising global star like Caitlin Clark, the story becomes almost irresistible to click, share, and believe without checking. This is how modern sports rumors spread, not through official leaks, but through repetition across multiple channels until they start sounding like fact. And once enough people repeat it, the line between speculation and reality starts to blur. But here's the key point we need to lock in. Even though this story is trending, it has not been confirmed anywhere in the legitimate sports ecosystem. That includes major outlets, league sources, and anyone directly connected to either party. So what we're really dealing with here isn't a breaking news story. It's a viral narrative built on possibility, not proof. And in the next part, we'll break down something even more important. Why this specific rumor spread so fast, and why Caitlin Clark has become the center of so many future of sports conversations, even when the claims around her aren't grounded in fact. To understand why this rumor even gained traction, you first have to understand the reality behind the name at the center of it, Caitlin Clark. Because regardless of the speculation, one thing is completely real. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter professional basketball, she shifted attention toward it. From her college dominance to her transition into the WNBA, she brought something the league had been building toward for years. Mainstream visibility at a scale rarely seen in women's sports. Packed arenas, record-breaking TV audiences, and social media clips circulating far beyond traditional basketball fans. All of that is part of her actual impact. And that's important, because it explains why stories around her grow so quickly. When a player starts influencing ratings, attendance, merchandise demand, and national sports conversations, they stop being just an athlete in the public eye. They become a symbol of change. That's why you'll often hear her name connected to phrases like redefining the WNBA or changing the business of women's basketball. But here's where we need to be careful. Real impact does not automatically validate extreme claims. Just because someone is influential doesn't mean every story about them is true. And this is where the Michael Jordan connection becomes important. Michael Jordan represents something completely different in sports history: ownership, branding, and long-term business dominance. So when his name gets linked to Caitlin Clark, the narrative instantly feels bigger than reality. It sounds like a passing of the torch. It sounds like a generational partnership. But again, that's narrative, not confirmation. What is real is this. Clark has become one of the most marketable and closely watched athletes in modern basketball. And when athletes reach that level of visibility, the internet often starts building stories around them faster than official news can keep up. That's exactly how speculation fills the gap. Not because something happened, but because people believe something should happen. Now, in the next section, we'll go deeper into the role Michael Jordan actually plays in all of this, and what his real history in ownership and business tells us about why his name is being used in this conversation at all. Because once you understand that, the rumor starts to make a lot more sense, even if it still isn't true. To understand why the rumor involving Michael Jordan sounds believable to so many people, we need to separate perception from reality. Because Jordan isn't just a basketball icon. He's one of the most successful athlete-turned-business figures in sports history. He didn't just dominate on the court. He built influence far beyond it. One of the most important parts of his legacy was becoming the majority owner of the Charlotte Hornets in the NBA, making him one of the first former players to hold a controlling ownership stake in a professional franchise. That alone changed how people view athletes after retirement. And then there's the Jordan brand, one of the most powerful sports marketing machines ever created under Nike. It turned a signature sneaker line into a global cultural identity. So when Jordan's name enters any modern sports conversation, especially one involving ownership or business structure, people automatically assume, if anyone could do it, he could. That's why the Caitlin Clark rumor gained traction in the first place. But here's where facts matter. There is no verified record of Jordan offering ownership of any WNBA franchise to Caitlin Clark. No league confirmation. No team statement. No reporting from credible sports journalists. Just speculation amplified by viral content cycles. And that's an important distinction, because Jordan's real business influence does exist, but it doesn't automatically extend into every story his name gets attached to online. What is true is that he represents a blueprint many athletes aspire to. Transition from player to owner. Build long-term brand equity. Control influence beyond the game. But what is not true in this case is the specific claim being circulated about a direct ownership offer. Still, the reason this story feels believable is because it sits at the intersection of two real narratives. Caitlin Clark's rapid rise as a cultural sports figure. Michael Jordan's proven success in sports business and ownership. When you combine those two realities, speculation becomes almost inevitable. And that brings us to the bigger question. If this specific story isn't real, why does the idea of player ownership suddenly feel so realistic in today's sports world? That's exactly what we'll explore next. Because this isn't just about one rumor anymore. It's about where modern sports might actually be heading. Now that we've separated fact from speculation, the conversation shifts into something much more interesting than the rumor itself. Because even though there is no verified evidence that Michael Jordan offered ownership to Caitlin Clark, the idea behind the rumor touches on a real debate happening across modern sports. And that debate is this. Could athletes one day move from being players to partial owners? Right now, in major leagues like the NBA and WNBA, ownership is still structured around investors, private groups, and franchise organizations, not active players. But the landscape around sports business is changing faster than ever. Athletes today have personal brands worth millions, global social media reach, direct influence over fan engagement, and growing control over sponsorship ecosystems. That kind of power didn't exist in previous generations. So when people imagine a future where a player like Caitlin Clark could have ownership influence, they're not pulling it out of nowhere. They're extrapolating from real trends. But here's the key reality check. Even with all this evolution, there are still major structural and legal barriers that make active player ownership extremely unlikely under current league rules. That's why the claim circulating online feels exciting, but unrealistic in practice. It blends what could happen someday with what is actually possible right now. And that gap is where misinformation often grows. Still, the idea itself isn't meaningless. It reflects a broader shift in how fans view athletes, not just as performers, but as brands, businesses, and long-term stakeholders in the sports economy. And that's why names like Caitlin Clark naturally become part of these conversations, because she represents the modern athlete era. Visibility, influence, and market power all at once. But again, possibility is not confirmation. And this is where the most important part comes in. In today's world, sports news travels faster than ever before. A single clip, headline, or YouTube video can spread globally in minutes. But speed does not equal truth. So here's something important to remember. Whenever you see a major claim about your favorite athlete, whether it's Caitlin Clark, Michael Jordan, or anyone else, don't accept it instantly. Take a few seconds and double-check it. Because now more than ever, everyone has access to information. Everyone has a phone in their hand. And real facts are only a search away. A quick verification can separate viral fiction from real news. So the next time you see a headline that feels too big to believe, pause for a moment, check the source, and make sure the story is real before you share it. Because in today's sports world, truth still matters more than virality.